Hello, and welcome to Stuff by PwC. I'm Peter West Carey. Today I'm going to give you an update on how the sales have gone for the first quarter of 2021 for aerial photography. I'm not going to give any actual prices about how much is sold for what price, but I will let you know what has been selling of mine on overflightstock.com. So let's take a look at the computer. The top seller for this quarter was a pan-up of Brentwood, California, just a residential street, 9 seconds long. That's it. The biggest seller. Next up is a Amazon distribution facility outside of Patterson, California, just right off of I-5. A little bit longer video just from outside the property of the gigantic operations that Amazon has out there. For the quarter, I averaged 5 sales a month for January, February, March. That includes things that are sold more than once. For instance, this clip here of residential area in Palos Verdes, California, kind of an upscale neighborhood with pools and such. It's a little bit after dark. Didn't think this was really too much of a exciting kind of clip, but it has sold 3 times over the time period. A couple of times in January and once in March. So again, sometimes the most boring clips that you aren't sure about. This I think was ISO 800, also not the best shooting conditions, but it was worth it. Next up is the area around Woodland Hills, California. Sunrise, beautiful time, kind of hard lighting. This clip has also sold a couple of times. Just flying directly into the sun on a beautiful morning with those nice little rays coming through the fog. At the start of 2021, I had about maybe 1,500 clips on Overflight stock. A lot of it were shots like this, shot out of airplane windows until I got more into drone photography. But over that time, I have uploaded approximately, I would say, 700 more clips. So realistically, I'm about 2,400 clips now on overflightstock.com, which will definitely help my sales going forward. This is the Central Valley of California, San Joaquin Valley, that is just farm and farm and farm. Shot out a window of a Alaska Airlines flight between Los Angeles and Seattle, which I used to do quite often. So I took advantage of it, shot with a Sony RX100 Mark V, actually, right out the window, and then stabilized in Premiere Pro. Another shot out of a window from a Alaska Airlines flight. This time we're passing over Tacoma, Washington. Just floating along, always trying to get a window seat. This was the time in my life when I had the Elite status, which often got me upgraded to a window seat further up from the wing so that I didn't have to worry about getting engines or wings in the pictures. That was definitely a prime time to shoot. Another shot from Woodland Hills, California. Residential area, nicer houses, things up on a ridge. Again, the light coming through the trees, I guess, was appealing. Definitely was for me to be able to go out and shoot it this day. It's always worth it to get up early, even if it doesn't look like there's going to be much happening. And in this case, it was kind of a bland morning, just a little bit of fog, but that proved beneficial. Last clip here is a rising shot in Seattle, Washington. There's the Space Needle, just a simple pop-up on a bright sunny weekend evening as the sun was setting. The PI building, nice airplane flying overhead, and a great establishing shot for Seattle. And that's the bulk of it. There were a few land-based clips that I didn't include, but of those clips that you saw, all the ones that were done with the drone were shot with a DJI Mavic 2 Pro with ND filters to bring the shutter speed down to 1/50th of a second, shot at 24 frames a second almost every single time that I go up. If you got questions about why, let me know and I will be glad to explain in another video. Otherwise, those other 2 were shot with the Sony RX100 Mark V, which didn't have stabilization, so I had to bring him into Premiere Pro on my computer, stabilize the footage because zoomed in, like you need to be oftentimes shooting out a plane window, it doesn't, that version of the Sony did not have image stabilization. So the image stabilization definitely did help in the end. Those were shot about, 5 or 6 years ago. So you never know quite what will sell. Definitely timeless things like farming in a valley. It's kind of timeless. That can sell over and over again once you have that clip. and Tacoma. Who doesn't just love Tacoma? But otherwise, I'm looking for more sales as I get more and more clips online. Usually I'm trying to shoot about 20 or so clips a week. That works out to about 1,000 more this year. Realistically, I want to be doing about 100. That's a little bit of a push. So far this year, I've done about 1,400, 1,500 clips. So I'm right at about where I want to be for 5,000 for the year, which is my true goal. But it comes and goes. Sometimes I'm busy and don't get out shooting. Sometimes there's really nothing to shoot. Sometimes it's just, pardon the expression, a boring sunny day in Los Angeles, so that it looks like the day before and the day after. And sometimes that monotony can make you not want to go out shooting, but having various subjects in mind to shoot often helps. So my watch says it's time to go.